Nigeria is home to 220 million people, and it takes a very determined person to run as president. 2019 candidate Omoyele Sowore is a human rights activist, a pro-democracy campaigner, and the founder of online news outlet Sahara Reporters. He passed through Perth recently ahead of the February election, and Tony ETC spoke with him.
Welcome everybody. We've got here at WTV Mr. Omoyele Sowore. He's an entrepreneur, he's an activist, he is a scholar, he is the presidential candidate for African Action Congress, vying for the presidential seat of the 2019 Nigerian presidential election.
Thank you so much for bringing me on your show. And Australia possesses a sizable population of professional Nigerians who brings in a lot of revenue into Nigeria on an annual basis. About $50 billion is officially what is remitted back home.
The AAC, African Action Congress, take it back, action, take it back, AAC.
Well, we started 8 months ago with Taking Back Nigeria. So we started as a movement, and the movement was referred to as Take It Back Movement. Okay. And action is, of course, how we intend to match our vision with reality by taking action to take Nigeria back and put it on the path of progress and prosperity.
For production to take place, there should be non-stop energy, 24/7 energy. But right now in Africa, I think only few countries can proudly provide their citizens with constant electricity. And this still boils down to the lack of science and technological know-how. So, sir, what have you got in place to ensure that there is constant energy supply, there is easy accessibility with transportation, and the agricultural production of Nigeria and Africa increases immensely?
We have plans already to increase Nigeria. Nigeria has miserable supply of electricity of 3,000 megawatts for a country of 200 million people. With that, you are wasting your time. There's no way you can produce with electricity that's barely enough to run, maybe even 5% of Perth, as a city. So we want to increase that rapidly to 24,000 megawatts within 2.5 years. And the way to do it is to bring in renewable energy, solar energy, wind, biogas, biomass, biofuels, whatever is needed. Nigeria is home to 9.3 billion cubic feet of gas in Ogoni land alone. That can, power almost half of the entire African continent. But the problem with Ogoni land or the Niger Delta region is that it's polluted, and Nigeria has refused to clean up because it has not done right by the people there. So there's chaos, there's militancy and resistance against even common exploration of gas. We have coal. So we have all it takes to generate the amount of electricity that can power the continent of Africa, technologically speaking. Ask yourself, how did China do it to a country that's producing its own military hardware, producing their own aircraft? Of course, they created the enabling environment, institutions, systems that made it possible to produce. We haven't done that because, again, we keep electing those who are incapable of thinking progressively into office all the time. And it's time for Africa to realize its own potential. It's time for Africa to stop beating itself down about what was done to Africa through slavery, colonialism, and all of the injustices done to the continent of Africa. Africa is at the center of the reason why Nigeria must rise. Okay. February 16th, 2019 is the date of the election for the presidency of Nigeria. It's just letting Africa realize its full potential in our lifetime. The history of Nigeria up to 1960, it was a colonial experiment. And in fact, the country known as Nigeria today used to be known as Slave Coast. Yes, in addition to the number of countries around it, because about 43 million persons were sold into slavery. and that is twice the size of Australia today in population. So it was a lot, for over 400 years. There was a lot of activities with regards to slavery.
Thank you for talking to us, Mr. Omoyele Sowore. It's nice having you here.
Once again, it's been a pleasure to be on your show. My message to our followers, viewers, supporters around the world is that Nigeria of your dream is about to be realized. And for Africans out there, that Nigeria that you've always been looking up to or looking forward to is about to come into existence. February 16th, 2019 is the date of the election for the presidency of Nigeria.